What's going on, world? It's your girl Napalm checking in. You already know what time it is. I'm back to drop some more bombs on y'all. So I was inspired to make this video today because I've been getting asked a lot lately, what advice do you have for aspiring producers, engineers, artists, etc.? So I oftentimes focus on the technical aspect of music production and things like that, the music industry. But today, I'm gonna be talking about a topic that's really equally as important, if not more important than all the technical aspects combined, all right? And that's recording studio etiquette 101, aka the unwritten rules of the studio that can really make or break your experience. So it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a producer, an engineer, songwriter, or even somebody who just is a friend of an artist or whatever and planning to attend their session. You should also know these unwritten rules because you don't want to kill anybody's vibe. You don't want to make anybody uncomfortable during the session. So this video is going to cover everything you need to know about how to conduct yourself in a professional recording environment. All right. So over the years, I've been to probably thousands of sessions, and I've been to more than I like to admit sessions that people have been asked to leave. And trust me, you do not want to be this person, and there's no reason you should be this person after watching this video. Alright, so before we dive into it, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos I make about music industry things, music business content, audio, music production, all of those things I cover on my channel. So now, let's get into it. So some of y'all out there, I know y'all gotta be wondering why I say recording studio etiquette is more important than your skills in the studio. Well, let me explain. No matter how talented you are, as a musician, producer, artist, songwriter, whatever your position is, if you don't practice proper studio etiquette, it can really cause tension, distractions. You could waste time in the studio, and a lot of times people book by the hour. Most times people book by the hour, and that could really hinder the creative process, and you don't want to do that, aka kill the vibe. Who wants to be that person in the studio? Don't be that guy or girl. Poor studio etiquette can lead to negative reputation in the industry also, which can really damage your career beyond repair sometimes. So don't let that happen to you. So let's begin with our first point. Respect the studio space. When you enter a recording studio, remember that it's a professional environment. So treat the studio, the equipment, and the actual people in the studio with care. Avoid touching equipment that isn't yours, especially if you don't know how to work it, unless you're given permission. Always clean up after yourself. Being respectful of the studio space will not only earn you respect in return, but ensure a smooth and enjoyable recording experience. Next up, communication. Communication is key in the studio. Clear and effective communication with your fellow musicians, engineers, producers, and whoever else is working on your project is essential. Before you start recording, discuss your ideas, your goals, and expectations openly. Make sure everyone is on the same page to avoid misunderstandings and unnecessary work. Respect others' opinions and collaborate as a team to go ahead and bring out the best possible sound you can in your music. Time management is really crucial in the studio. Studios usually charge by the hour, as I said earlier, so it's really important to arrive on time, fully prepared every time. Have your equipment ready, instruments tuned, and your songs rehearsed. This not only saves you money, but shows other people how professional and considerate you are for others' time. Stick to the schedule and be mindful of how your actions affect others' workflow. Another key area of studio etiquette is maintaining a positive atmosphere. Studios are creative spaces where artists should feel comfortable and inspired. Avoid negativity, ego clashes, or unnecessary criticism unless somebody's asking your opinion. Encourage and support your fellow musicians. A positive and uplifting environment can enhance the quality of your recordings and foster better relationships and collaborations. Now, let's talk about noise control. Studios are designed for capturing high quality audio, and background noise can definitely ruin a recording. So respect the silence when somebody is recording and try to minimize unnecessary noise. If you're not involved in the current recording, go ahead and step outside the studio or use designated areas for conversation to maintain a quiet and focused environment. Another unwritten important rule to adhere by is the headphone rule. When somebody is wearing headphones, it's a sign that they're either recording or they're working on something intentionally. So respect their space and avoid interrupting them unless absolutely necessary. Similarly, the talkback button rule applies to the engineer's ability to communicate with the artist during recording. Avoid pressing the talkback button unless you're involved in the actual recording process. You don't want to distract others in the workflow that they have going. The food and drink rule is also another rule that you want to follow and adhere by in the studio. I understand that creativity sometimes sparks during coffee breaks or, food breaks or whatever the case may be. But it's important to be mindful of what you bring into the actual studio. Sticky drinks and snacks can actually damage the equipment if they get spilled. And nobody wants to deal with that cleanup. Nobody wants to deal with sticky keyboards and sticky whatever else, floorboards that people may be walking on, whatever the case is. Nobody wants to clean up while they trying to create and be creative. That's gonna kill the vibe. Don't be that person. That's a party foul, right? So if you don't have to have food or drink in the studio, don't do it. Or if you have to have it in the studio, try to use a designated area or ask somebody on the studio staff where you can go ahead and eat, drink, and do those things. This next point is probably a no-brainer for most people, but let's not forget about personal hygiene. Studios can be tight spaces sometimes, and personal hygiene becomes even more important during those scenarios. Make sure you're clean and fresh before entering the studio. I've actually seen people on more than one occasion be kicked out of the session for not having good hygiene and for just not being well put together and being an eyesore. That's just not pleasant to be around. Nobody wants to be around that person when they're trying to be inspired and uplifted and creative. Being well put together and practicing good hygiene not only shows respect for others, but also ensures a pleasant working environment for everyone. It's also worth noting that strong perfumes or colognes can be distracting or even cause allergic reactions, so be careful with the scents. Finally, let's not forget about the golden rule. Be professional and treat everybody in the studio, from the intern to the owner, with professionalism and respect. Show gratitude for their contributions and expertise. Building a good reputation in the music industry is vital, and your behavior in the studio can really go a long way. Remember, this industry is all about relationships, so the more that you treat people with respect, the more that you gain. Plus, you never really know who somebody's gonna be in the future. Somebody who's an intern today really could be the next music mogul tomorrow. A lot of people don't know that Diddy actually started out as an intern at Uptown Records in New York after he begged Heavy D to connect him with somebody at the label. So remember, be kind to everybody. And there you have it, my guide to recording studio etiquette 101. By following these unwritten rules and practicing good etiquette, you'll create an environment that promotes creativity and collaboration. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts, questions, or any other studio etiquette tips you have in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching, and till the next video, y'all be easy.